Welcome to this edition of Due South, where we connect creativity in Cape Town and bring you interviews, destinations and education, all about creativity and the arts happening in the Deep South.
My name is Lionel Davis. I am an artist. I am a community worker. I talk for a living. And I make art for the sheer joy of making art. I was a prisoner on Robben Island from 1964 until 1971. And thereafter, on my release in 1971, I was placed under house arrest for 5 years. I was sent to Muizenberg in 1971. I'd never been to Muizenberg, but we were evicted from District 6 Museum, and I was forced to go and live in Muizenberg. And we lived there until my mother died. I got involved politically in the early 60s, around about 61. But as a child, I had great problems with white authority. 13 years of age, I was clashing with white authority physically. As I grew older, I clashed with my white employers, white colleagues. Those were the days of job apartheid. Whites could do certain works which others could not do. It was on the bus, on the train, wherever I encountered white authority, even the police. I started with art, drawing as a child. We lived in very cramped conditions. And what inspired me to want to draw, I do not know, but I love drawing. And not owning books or materials, we would draw with chalk, with crayon, with whatever we could find. And we would either draw on the pavement or draw in the street. I love doing that, but when I started with high school, my focus started changing. And by the time I left high school, I had stopped drawing. It is only when I was in court in the 60s that I started doodling again. And when I arrived on Robben Island, of course, there was no time for that. There were other things to learn. It's post my house arrest, post 1976, that I needed healing, because house arrest was a very traumatic experience for me. And that's when I discovered the Community Arts Project. That was at the end of 1977. And this is when my creativity started full swing, because I learned so much about art making, formal art making. I went to Michaelis in 1991, did my fine arts degree. I majored in printmaking. In 1997, I started working on Robben Island, when Robben Island opened as a museum and the general public was invited to tour Robben Island, could go into the prison. That's when I started working there. And of course we lived there too. My family lived there for almost 10 years. But I do not work professionally. I talk for a living. Because people used to pay me to want to keep quiet. These days they have to pay me to talk. So I talk, I'm invited to talk about my experiences. But for art making for me is just a joyous journey. And yeah, every day for me is a bonus. It's a wonderful journey.